One of the best KVK 4s is about to happen, and you do not want to miss it. Of course, I'm talking about Kingdom 3535 versus Kingdom 3560. Now, I will be checking out Kingdom 3535 and 3560 in this video and comparing them in their stats. And at the end of this video, I'll give a prediction on who will win the KVK. Now, before we get into it, I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate it if you could subscribe and like the video. Let's get into Kingdom 3535. Alright, taking a peek at their main alliance. 11.8 billion power. And clan tag 3535, we have the sexy titans here, and I believe all the new migrants are in rank 2, and I don't know what rank 1 is, but I think for this alliance we're going to be starting at the bottom and going up to rank 3. Of course, we're going to do the officers first though. So we got any illegal 0 with 68 million power and 669 million KP, 29 million units killed in 1 KVK, and 3.5 million deads. We got BBB, real good, 113 million power, 4.1 billion kill points, 112 million units killed in 1 KVK. That ratio is actually insane. 112 to 44 units healed, million units healed. That's a pretty insane ratio. 17 million units dead. Then we got Yin with 70 million power and 580 million kill points, 16 million units killed. Also a good ratio here. And 3.3 million deads. Now this is a really new account as well. Probably a native. We got Thomas Shelby, 97 million power, 8.1 billion KP. And we got billion KP. And we got 64 million units killed with a good ratio here as well. And 27 million units dead. We got 35 Pikachu, 107 million power, 3.3 billion KP, 120 million units killed, and 5.5 million units dead. Miss Tab and Mr. Tab. Now they have some insane accounts. I've heard everyone's talking about them. They also have restored accounts in Kingdom around where my number is, 3626. I don't know exactly where the restored accounts are, but they got some insane counts. SVIP, Miss Tab, 215 million power, 4.3 billion KP. And yeah. Yep. Mr. Tab, 175 million power, 4.5 billion KP. These are like the twin devils, the twin tower. Charles, 61 million power, 690 million KP. And Sexy Potato, 34 billion KP. What is going on? How did this account get into this kingdom? That is insane KP. I'm not gonna look into that. That's crazy, by the way. I don't even know what this banner is. That must be something insane. And then we go down to R1s. Look at Ra. 61 million power, 466 million KP, 24 million units killed, and 2.2 million deads. We got Lucy, 145 million power, 1.5 billion KP, looking strong here. At Space Jesus, 48 million power, 187 million KP. A little bit on the lower side, but always room for improvement. We got 73 million power and 375 million KP. We got Batusai, 57 million power and 366 million KP. We got Krieg Scott, 63 million power and 136 million KP. Now let's look at the new migrants they got. Now, all of these people in R2 should be new migrants. I see Oink Oink Piggy. He's in my YouTube chat a lot. Come stop by the live streams. I usually stream at reset 0 UTC. So if you're on at that time, come see if I'm live. Okay, we got Overworked, 153 million power, 2.1 billion KP. And yeah, this is an insane migrant. 61 million power, 2.4 billion KP. With Gojo, we had Evancia. 71 million power, 1.2 billion KP, 42 million units killed. We got Malkov, it's 94 million power, 2 billion KP, 62 million units killed, and we got Whiskey and SVIP. That's what that border means, right? Looks like he took it off and put the hawk on, but 69 million power, 2.5 billion KP, 47 million units killed, and 10 million deads. We got Harjar Darkon, 76 million power, 1 billion KP, 30 million units killed. We have Marty, 103 million power, 1.5 billion KP, 4.8 million units killed. Now, I will say that both 3535 and 3560 have special tickets open for their kingdoms, so they have the opportunity to get more migrants in at any time. We had ZDD, 102 million power, 1.1 billion KP. We had Han, 64 million power, 1 billion KP. So many people with billion KP. These are good migrants. We got PGG, 64 million power, 2.4 million AP. 81 million units killed there. Got Vitorino, 71 million power, 2.1 billion KP. got the One Piece profile. We got Black Ice, Little Rainbow Six, 69 million power, 1.4 million KP. We got Shaft, 62 million power, 1.5 billion KP. We got Tau, 66 million power, 1.6 million KP. We got Apollo, almost 70 million power, 1.1 billion KP with the Minion. We got Ewan, 78 million power and 2.4 million KP. 2.4 billion KP. Billion. I'm gonna mess that up so many times in this video. Don't knock me for it, okay? I'm gonna be saying a lot of numbers. It's gonna be tough. I'm trying my best. Alright, moving on. Magnus Carlsen. 71 million power, 1.9 billion KP. There we go. We got Kenshin. 61 million power, 2.3 billion KP. 40 million instead there. We got Attila. 54 million power, 1.5 billion KP. We got Next Arion. I've seen so many people with this similar styled profile picture. 109 million power, 2.4 billion KP. Is that like a trend? We got LN, 79 million power, 2 billion KP. We got PP Long, 69 million power, 1.5 billion KP. Is that a Dratini in the PFP, little Pokemon? Is that Dragonair? I can't remember which Pokemon is which. 63 million power, 1.2 billion KP. We got Welly with 70 million power, 740 million KP. We got Overkill Lewis, 68 million power, 1.1 billion KP. Nice. And then we got Oink Oink Piggy, 88 million power, 1.7 billion KP. 6 million deads. Nice. We got YJ, 79 million power, 1.2 billion KP. I'm definitely getting better at saying billion. We got Sexy Misao, 71 million power, 167 million KP. Who's that in the profile picture? Looks like some sort of gangster. We got Jamie, some sort of mob boss, 80 million power, 890 million KP. We got Niceberry, 62 million power, 1 billion KP. We got Ibra, 69 million power, 2.1 billion KP. We got Alistan, 73 million power, 2.4 billion KP. We got Puzo, X Simple, 66 million power, almost 67, 1.1 billion KP. We got Capybara, Capi. We got 80 million power, 2.2 billion. We got Devon was here, another SVIP, 86 million power, almost 3 billion KP. What an insane migrant. 3 billion is just crazy. We got Sexy Ken Pro, 101 million power, 607 million KP. We got With Love, 71 million power, 2.8 billion KP. And we got GT Polly, 49 million power, 2 billion KP. By the gods. How did that happen? Alright, so that's all the new migrants, and then we go on to the main alliance. Now, I do know some of these players, but I don't know a lot of them. Starting off with Quantrong, 100 million power, 4.8 billion KP. That is a strong start. We got Martel here, 52 million power, 219 million KP. We got Ken, 82 million power, 4.5 billion KP. We got Native, 55 million power, 324 million KP. Guessing it's a native to the kingdom. We got Tomy, 54 million power, 276 million KP. We got Taff Guy, 83 million power, 3.8 billion KP. I think I've seen that profile picture, so I might recognize this guy, but don't 100% know. We got Resurrect here, 84 million power, 776 million KP. P-U-E-N here, 88 million power, 8 billion KP. By the gods. 8 bill. I wonder if I'll ever get there. We got Powell here, 59 million power, 638 million KP. Now it looks like some of the profile pictures are messing up on the outside, just ignore them. These should be the real ones. We got 98 million power, 1.3 billion KP. We got Juds, 57 million power, 219 million KP. We got Gray, 70 million power, 827 million KP. We get Iron here. How do you say iron, by the way? How do you say iron, by the way, guys? Is it iron or iron? I think it's iron. Like I earn for the mines, not iron, but maybe that's just me. We got 78 million power, 5.3 billion KP. Insane. We got Asterix, 63 million power, 1 billion KP. We got Mikasa, Isukasa, and Mikasa from Attack on Titan. 114 million power, 218 million KP. KP is a little bit low, but you know, with accounts this good, you could get like a billion KP in one KVK, so. Kaikso, 55 million power, 348 million KP. Sorry for butchering your name. We got Hadson, 93 million power, 559 million KP. We got Fate, Watercolor, 92 million power, 1.8 billion KP, 29 million kills, looking strong. We got Killia, 104 million power, 2.6 billion KP. Stats are hidden, but We got Sleepy K, 54 million power, 920 million KP. We got Artist here, 67 million power, 328 million KP. We got Penny Wisest, 84 million power, 923 million KP. I remember someone in 77 had the name Penny as well. We got Inspired here, 57 million power, 315 million KP. We got Akaname, 60 million power, 705 million KP. That looks like some Jujutsu Kaisen stuff. I'm not sure. The King Jiraiya, 81 million power, 5.3 billion KP. Get the Dragon Lancer, the GOAT. We got Kill and Chill, 79 million power, 791 million KP. We got Vlad, 44 million power, 338 million KP. We got Abyss, 89 million power, 1 billion KP. Scarier PFP. We got The End, 59 million power, 418 million kill points. Looking strong, looking strong. We got Sad with 66 million power, almost 3 billion KP. This alliance has so much KP. I think I got sent a screenshot that has 300 million KP, somewhere around there. 46 million power, 178 million KP. Wait, Kenoka, 73 million power, 622 million KP. We got Huz, 88 million power, 4.5 billion KP. Okay, another billionaire. Avalon, 36 million power, 344 million KP. Got Sexy Greed, 62 million power, 385 million KP. We got Chef, 58 million power, 630 million KP. We got Osman Abbey, 76 million power, 1.4 billion KP. We got Super Baba, 83 million power, 8.4 billion KP. We got The Weed, 63 million power, 484 million KP. We got Sexy Akuma, 59 million power, 409 million KP. We got Sexy Grum, 75 million power, 368 million KP. I guess there's a bit of like a sexy theme going on. We got Sexy Sun, 76 million power, 1.3 billion KP. Sexy Bong, 84 million power, 808 million KP. We got Beyonce, what? Real? 60 million power, 314 million KP. We got characters I don't know how to pronounce. But the Yasuo, as you guys know, if you're in my live stream, I'm kind of addicted to League of Legends. I'm literally playing it after I end my live stream. Oh my god, I lost such a bad game the other day. I was going crazy on Varus and my team just ran it down. 84 million power, 5.2 billion KP. We got Sexy Death here, 68 million power, 509 million KP. We got Sexy Milo, 55 million, 429 million KP. We got 63 million KP here, 63 million power, 249 million KP. You know, reading's hard, speaking's hard. Don't make fun of me, okay? Try my best here. Yeah, with the L, 57 million power, 353 million KP. We got High Cow, 100 million power, 1.1 billion KP. We got Macaron, 55 million power, 376 million KP. We got Hedon, 62 million power, 310 million KP. We got Pack Hitum, 79 million power, 4.1 billion KP. We got Mini Lover, 72 million power, 1.4 billion KP. We got Uzumaki, 58 million power, 334 million KP. We got Femme Fatale, 72 million power, 161 million KP. We got Demons, 56 million power, 545 million KP. We got Potseds, actually I forgot to click this. Potseds, 46 million power, 774 million KP. We got Phoenix, 57 million power, 241 million KP. We got Gel, 60 million power, 537 million KP. We got Delay No More, 74 million power, 482 million KP. We got Zoa, 63 million power, 442 million KP. You know, I can't speak amazing. 91 million power, 5.6 billion KP. Miku, you legend. That is insane. I know Miku has a couple other accounts. Super strong power, super strong KP. That's insane. Wait, Aphex Lay, 78 million power, 2.5 billion KP. I also have a speech impediment. I get stutter sometimes and I say some words wrong. Like I replace my R's with W sometimes. It's honestly awful. I don't know why I tried to become a YouTuber. 1.2 billion KP here. And Nihat here, 1.5 billion KP. Got Sexy Kim Jun, 77 million power, 825 million KP. Got Fluxo, 69 million power, 501 million KP. We got Jet with 117 million power and 12.5 billion KP. 12.5 billion. 12.5 billion. What? That is crazy. We got Tay Tin Yu, 87 million power, 5.5 billion KP. Rambling, 61 million power, 254 million KP. We got Sexy Lucy, 83 million power, 450 million KP. We got Wise Hawkeye, 95 million power, 1.7 billion KP. We got Isapin, 93 million power, 6 billion KP. Okay, I'm kind of happy I didn't scroll past these people because they all have insane KP. We got Cartman, 57 million power, 391 million KP. We got Alamette City, 90 million power, 2.6 billion KP. We got Ender, 56 million power, 381 million KP. Red Cat, Cat Bread. We got Slayer here, 86 million power, 428 million KP. We got Mr. Boo, 51 million power, 449 million KP. We got Chamber, 52 million power, 274 million KP. Sexy Roman, 76 million power, 578 million KP. We got Bull here, 65 million power, 463 million KP. We got Sweet Potato, 34 million power, 125 million KP. We got Dimix, 61 million power, 514 million KP. We got Doodoo, 60 million power, 436 million KP. We got Leo, 60 million power, 457 million KP. We got Lord Flaco, 91 million power, 5.6 billion KP. You know, if they have this profile picture with the double cannons, I just know they have a lot of KP. I don't know why, but the double cannons equals KP. We got Ongbut, 63 million power, 573 million KP. Yeah, Quantum Storm, 63 million power, 669 million KP. Unagi Chucky, 78 million power, 703 million KP. Almost to a bill. We got It, 73 million power, 3.4 billion KP. We got Sexy Patoon, 81 million power, 516 million KP. Yellow Demon Slayer profile picture. Yes, I'm tapped in. We got Hypsion John. Okay, I butchered that. We got Hyp, 160 million power, 18.8 billion. With a B. Billion. That is crazy. That is insane. We get Subari, 52 million power, 695 million KP. We got Ozier, 88 million power, 1.4 billion KP. And we got Sexy Moon, 66 million power, 432 million. Nice. And then we got Sexy Tomato, so many sexies, 71 million power, 2 billion KP. And the final four, Sexy Ducky, Sexy Pudding, Lord Heart, and Gan Lee. Sexy Ducky, 4.1 billion KP. We got Sexy Pudding, 1.1 billion. Lord Heart, 700 million, and Gan Lee, 1.7 billion. That is Sexy Titans, 3 stars in a row. Moving on to KVK 4. Now their opponents are going to be 3560, but the video is already like 20 minutes long, in the recording at least. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this video and I'll post the 3560 tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, which is around 14 UTC. 10 a.m. Eastern, 14 UTC. If you want to see the 3560, and then after that 3560 video, I'll give you my thoughts on who's going to win. And honestly, 3535 looks very strong. They got a lot of good migrants. And I guess I'll see you in the next video tomorrow, 10 a.m. Don't miss it. Peace.